This coffee shop is one of my favorites in the area, and if we sit here, there's no chance of anyone overhearing us.
Thanks for showing me this place. I can see why you like it.
Not to mention, we're so out of the way here, no one is going to give you a hard time about the way you sit.
I don't sit like this because I want to. I have to sit like this. You see, if I were to sit normally, my deductive skills would immediately be reduced by roughly 40%. So, what was it you wanted to ask me?
Right. I'm sure that can wait until you're convinced that I'm not Kira. So please, let's talk about whatever you want to.
You're under no obligation to do this, but would you mind submitting yourself to a test of your deductive reasoning skills?
Sure, why not? Sounds like fun.
All right then. We can begin by taking a look at these. Photographs of 3 notes written by prison inmates while under Kira's control just prior to their deaths. None of this information has been made public. You can take as long as you want to look them over. Please let me know what you think.
Very interesting. Come on, this is child's play. There's a print number on the back of each of these photographs. If I ignore this fact and was still able to come up with the phrase, "L, do you know, gods of death love apples," what would that mean? Clearly, if I read it in the way Kira intended on my first attempt, I'd only look more suspicious. But the fact that I'm able to solve this silly code isn't enough on its own to prove that I'm Kira. It would be quite amazing to learn that not only could Kira kill others, but could also control his victims' actions. I think Kira wrote these, and it seems he's encoded a message for you as well, almost as if he's mocking you. If you line these notes up side by side and take a look at the first letter of every line, it reveals a message. Rearranging it like this gives you, "L, do you know, gods of death love apples." But there are obvious print numbers on the back of all these photographs. Arrange it in that order, we get, "L, do you know, love apples, gods of death." That doesn't sound right, and based on that, it's hard to believe that Kira would have wanted you to read it this way.
That's incorrect.
Huh?
The thing is, there were actually 4 photographs. When we add this one, it reads, "L, do you know, gods of death who love apples have red hands."
It's a fake. I never made any criminal write the letter in this 4th picture. Are they stupid? But seeing as I only had 3 photographs to work with, my deduction was perfect.
No, it wasn't. The truth is, there were 4 of them. If you'd figured that out, it would have been perfect. Even though you knew the message was incomplete, you decided that there were only 3 notes. Never even considered that there might be a 4th. What do you make of that?
Damn them! This wasn't just about gauging my deductive reasoning skills. They wanted to see what my reaction would be. If I keep falling for their tricks, I'll be playing right into their hands. Well, you got me there. I didn't think of that. In any case, the likelihood this message will lead you to Kira is not very great. Besides, we all know gods of death don't exist.
If you were me, faced with someone who might be Kira, how would you go about establishing this person's innocence or guilt? You need to be absolutely sure.
I would probably try to get him to say something that was never made public in any way. Something that only Kira could know. Kind of like what you were doing just now.
Truly amazing. What's incredible is that I've asked countless detectives that same question, and it took most of them minutes to even come up with an answer, but you immediately thought of the scenario in which Kira is speaking directly to the investigator. I'm impressed. You'll make a fine detective light.
But it's a bit of a double-edged sword. The more impressive my answers, the more of a suspect I become.
Yes, it's about 3% now. However, it's made me that much more determined to work with you in this investigation. You see, I'm in a position where even if you are Kira, it would still be to my benefit to have you working alongside us. You know why I'd say that?
If I cooperate with you, there's a chance I can help the investigation to move forward. And if I'm Kira, I might reveal myself. In other words, whether I'm Kira or not, you stand to gain either way. It's a very smart move on your part, but I think you might be getting the wrong idea. It's true that I do have an interest in the Kira case, and yes, detective work is a hobby of mine. But I know that I'm not Kira, and I certainly don't want to be killed by him. Besides, what proof have you been able to give me that you yourself aren't Kira? I mean, it hardly seems fair for just one of us to be investigated, wouldn't you say? At this point, neither of us can prove that we are not Kira. However, if you are in fact L, I don't imagine it would be that hard for you to prove it to me. I think I'd be convinced if, say, my father or someone else from the task force headquarters was able to confirm your identity. If you can't do that, then I'm afraid I just won't be able to help you.
You sure talk a lot, don't you, Light? Typical for someone who hates losing. I think that's 7%. Could it really be her? I don't remember saying you couldn't meet anyone from Task Force headquarters to verify my identity.
Huh?
I'm currently working alongside your father, as well as several other senior detectives from the NBA. Now, if I understand you correctly and I take you to Task Force headquarters, you'll help us with the investigation. Am I safe in making this assumption?
Does this guy have a death wish? I don't understand. What are they thinking?
Excuse me.
Oh, there goes mine.
Yes? Light, it's your...
My father. He had a heart attack.